What came first, the chicken or the egg? Where do dreams come from? What is the meaning of life? And the most divisive age-old question of all, what is the best beginner motorcycle? Today, we're going to answer that question. If we're talking about things that are a surefire way to start a heated discussion, the topic of which bike is best is surely going to be one of the most common. Everyone has an opinion on this, and everyone you speak to will probably give you a different answer. But today, I'm going to be giving you the definitive one and closing this age-old topic of debate once and for all. G'day, I'm Kwackajack, and welcome to the channel. Now, I know in your mind right now, you've probably already come to a conclusion as to what kind of bike is best for a beginner rider, and you're waiting for this Kawi fanboy to just get it over and done with and say the Ninja 400. But I'm not going to. Today, we're going to have a genuine discussion and really get to the bottom of what motorcycle is best for a new rider. I'm going to go through a few popular choices from each of the categories here before I tell you which one is actually the best. I remember what it's like to look for your first motorcycle. It's a time of excitement and endless research, sprinkled with a faint layer of anxiety that you have to choose the right bike. So if you're in that boat right now, don't stress, I've got you. Let's get into it. Alright, so you'll probably see a theme throughout this video, which is lower powered Lambs bikes. So if you're waiting for me to recommend a Ducati for your first motorcycle, you're probably going to be waiting a while. So let's get into it with the first category, which I would argue is the most common and popular: sport bikes. Agile, fast, and good-looking little sport bikes are an incredibly popular way to start in the motorcycling world, and rightly so. They offer a lot of value for money, with majority of them being faster than most four-wheeled objects on the road and being a real hoot to smash through the twisties. The most common sport bikes in the beginner class are the Ninja line from Kawasaki, the older 250 and 300s, and the newer 400s. You'll also find the Yamaha R3 and even the R7, while Honda has their CBR line including the 300, 500, and 650. This part of the market is absolutely swamped with great little options for you to start on, with a lot of manufacturers upping their game in recent years. I'm talking about the likes of KTM with their RC390, Husqvarna's options, and even CF Moto, which are bringing out some bangers of little sport bikes. To be honest with you, all of these motorcycles are fantastic and you can't go wrong. However, if I had to give you the top three, they would be the Ninja 400, the Yamaha R3, and the KTM RC390. With CF Moto's 450 SR being a close runner-up too. They all offer huge amounts of value for money, especially if you get them secondhand, and should see you all the way through your learning years until you upgrade to something larger on your open motorcycle license. I mean, I'm on mine and I've still got my Ninja 400. That's how much I love it. These are all from large manufacturers as well, so you know that there's support for them if you ever need to get parts. The second most popular type of bike to start on is the Naked, which is a stripped back, simpler version of the sport bike. Unencumbered with the bodywork and fairings that you'll get on sport bikes, they offer a clean and easy riding experience and are usually quite light and agile. You'll usually find on these types of motorcycles the ergonomic setup will be a bit more upright and comfortable, so they'll be better on longer journeys and for commuting. The most common ones you'll see in this category are going to be Yamaha's line of MT motorcycles, including the MT-03 and MT-07, both of which are great torquey little bikes. And then after that, you'll see the likes of Kawasaki's in the Z400 and older Z300. KTM also holds a top place here with their popular little 390 Duke. I'd also put some of the more classic or retro style bikes in this category, like Royal Enfield's Classic and Hunter 350 and 500s. To be honest though, in this category, Yamaha does dominate the market, with their MT line being huge sellers both new and second-hand, and should provide you a really terrific base to start your motorcycling career. Now let's talk about cruisers. I think for people looking to get into the motorcycling world, the idea of one is really appealing. They don't want something too fast, but they want it to be comfortable, stylish, and easy to ride. In reality though, I think most people will end up on one of the first two categories that we've spoken about, and that's mostly due to there being a lack of decent options. Don't get me wrong, there are some out there, but if you're after a new, beginner-oriented cruiser, the amount of them is a little bit limited. The most popular by far are the Kawasaki Vulcan S and Honda Rebel 500, both offering punchy little engines with the styling that those first-time riders will be looking for. They each really offer attractive little options. The next most common one you'll see is actually not even available to buy anymore, and that would be the Harley Street 500. People are of course drawn to this one because of the Harley Davidson name, which is huge. And to be honest, it's not a bad little cruiser. However, if the Harley community sees you on it, they probably won't acknowledge you. I find that it's usually more common for people to start on the sport or street bikes and then slowly transition to the cruisers later on when there's more options available. Lastly, let's talk about ADV or dual sport motorcycles. A very, very popular category within the motorcycling world, ADV bikes are kind of like the SUVs of the motorcycling world, having a larger frame, usually well equipped and being quite comfortable. While they probably can be used to go off-road, most people will never actually do it. Instead, enjoying these bikes for how well they do on long-distance riding. All of the big manufacturers will have their own options available, with the most common ones being Yamaha's Tenere 700, Suzuki's V-Strom line, the KTM 390 Adventure, and the Versys from Kawasaki. To be honest with you, they're all going to be good, offering you a comfortable everyday commuter that will be great on highways with their large screens and upright seating positions. Royal Enfield's Himalayan is actually a really underrated bike in this category that I like the look of too. So there are a few of the most common motorcycles in each category, but you're still thinking, well, what the hell do I get? Well, let me tell you what I think the best beginner motorcycle really is. The best beginner motorcycle is the one that you can afford and the one that makes you the happiest. I know that might sound like a cop-out, but it's true, and I think that everyone that's been riding for a long time will probably agree with me. Every one of us finds our way into this community in a different way. Maybe you saw a sport bike go past and it triggered that little thing in your brain that goes, damn, that could be me, and you were drawn to something like a Yamaha R3 or a Ninja 400. Maybe your dad used to or does ride a cruiser and that makes you want to as well. My point is, there really is no wrong first motorcycle unless you get one that you clearly can't afford or is clearly not meant for you, i.e. the Ducati. Sure, some will be easier to learn on. The sport bikes and nakeds will allow you to really learn how to curve corners more than a cruiser would. But at the end of the day, the best bike for you is gonna be the one that makes you the happiest to be on. If you're watching this and you're wondering what your first motorcycle should be, I think deep down, you probably already have an idea what it could be. Maybe it's that used Ninja 400 you saw, or maybe it's that new blue MT-07 that you saw in the dealership, or that Honda Rebel that's got that styling that you like. Don't let this decision stress you out of buying your first motorcycle, because to be honest, every single one that I mentioned throughout this video is more than good enough to be your first bike. There really is no definitive best first motorcycle. It comes down to which one makes you the happiest. So there you have it. Hopefully this video gave you a bit of clarity on the subject and peace of mind, knowing that as long as you stick within the learner-approved limits, you're probably not going to regret it and you'll have a great time no matter which one you pick. If you're a new rider, let me know down in the comments below which one you're thinking of getting, and if you've been riding for a while, let me know what your first bike was. And if you think I'm right with my opinion. But thanks for watching guys, until next time, see ya.